Death Slopes by Libby Taylor. Part 2. Appetite for Murder.
My Christmas break to the Austrian Alps wasn't the picture postcard I was expecting. Charlotte, the missing chambermaid, had been murdered, struck on the back of the head, and then finished off with a snow shovel. In trying to find out about the dead girl, we came across more than we bargained for in her lodgings. Cocaine! Oh, this has to be why she was murdered.
There's also a smell on this stocking. I can't quite put my finger on it.
But hang on, why would someone murder Charlotte for the drugs and then return them to her quarters? It makes no sense. We need to get back to the lodge and make sure everyone is rounded up. I'd like to interview everyone again. Oh, there's Sam.
He's feeling nervous. I can see him shaking.
I'm shaking. It's freezing.
Ginger, do you remember when I told you to not forget your long johns? There was a reason for that. Would you like me to warm you up?
I don't have long johns. We don't need them in civilization. Let's set up our questioning by the fire so we can all warm up. Let me have a quick swig of that schnapps for good measure. Cheerio? That's strong.
Warming, isn't it?
Ah, Sam, we would like to talk to you about your conversation with Charlotte at 11 o'clock.
Yes, miss.
Was it at the car that you spoke to her?
Yes, ma'am. She was going down to the village, like I told you. I don't lie.
I'm sure you don't. Look here, would you like to smoke? Would that make you feel more comfortable?
Yes, ma'am.
Here, let me light it for you. Ah, I see you smoke the Austrian cigarettes.
Yes, ma'am. Charlotte didn't like smoking.
Didn't she? And tell me, Sam, did she drive away from you after your conversation at 11 o'clock?
No, ma'am. She had forgotten her gloves, so she went back into her chalet.
I see. Well, thank you, Sam. You have been most helpful.
Yes, ma'am.
He has?
He has.
So you know that he smokes Austrian cigarettes and that Charlotte was absent-minded when it came to her gloves.
Yes, that's right. Now, let's have another chat to George, shall we?
Madame, I really think we should try to get to the village and contact the police. I am certain that Charlotte's murderer is among us. That Sam is...
George, please rest assured that we are doing everything we can to try and get through, but the roads are closed and the lines are down.
George, I honestly don't think Sam is responsible for Charlotte's death. But I promise you we will find her killer. Now, I need to ask you a few questions. We're trying to put together an idea of Charlotte's whereabouts before she was killed.
Yes, madame.
When was the last time you saw your daughter alive?
It was about 11:15, maybe just after. She had returned to get her gloves before going to the village again and...
So she was going again? She had already been?
Yes. She had been in the morning to collect the morning mail, but she wanted to get the afternoon delivery as well, but I think it was really to see Kurt.
I see. And where would the mail be delivered to from the morning collection?
That would come to me. They're normally left on my table at the lodge.
And where is the mail now?
Well, I haven't dealt with it yet, as I had to collect you. And I've had my arms full with this and that.
Hands full?
Yes, that is what I'm saying.
You said... Oh, never mind. Let's go and have a look at this mail.
This is where my mail is normally put. I am expecting my parcels and cards, but nothing.
That's because they were never delivered.
What? You mean she didn't go in the morning?
Oh, no. She went in the morning.
So where are my parcels? And my cards?
All in good time, Vita. I just need to speak with the Linklaters and Claudette again, and all will be revealed.
Is there any news on the phone lines, honey? I don't think I can stand much more of this.
Vita, what's going on here exactly? Are you any closer to getting things moving?
I need a match. Light me.
I'm afraid I don't smoke. Tell me, Mrs. Linklater, did you speak to Charlotte before she died?
I'm sorry, dear.
Let me rephrase that. Did you see Charlotte in the morning? Only I found some cigarette butts on the ground.
Plenty of a smoke, honey.
I can see they are yours, as you have the rather disgusting habit of smoking them down to the end, And I don't think anyone on the staff can afford your very expensive American brand.
All right, yeah. I did see her in the morning as she arrived in the car. I spoke to her through the window and asked her just what her game was with Jack.
What? Darling.
Don't you darling me. I saw you with her. You gave her money.
Jill, honey, please, you got this all wrong.
Jack and Jill, how quaint.
Anyways, she tried to tell me there was nothing going on, and then she wound up the window and I left.
What was the money for, Jack?
I was just helping the poor mite out a little. I was very fond of her. I didn't tell my wife because Charlotte asked me to keep it to myself, you know?
Everyone is here now, Ginger.
Oh, that is good news. And lo, glad tidings of great joy I bring, as I have again solved the case.
What is a case? A suitcase?
No, the case. Oh, for goodness sake, I've solved the murder.
Has it got anything to do with my 9-iron? Because
I will explain. On the morning of the murder, Charlotte left to collect the Morning Post, 4 parcels, at 9 o'clock.
And some stolen from the bakery.
And some stolen from the bakery, yes. She returned some time before 11, and someone was waiting for her. You, Mrs. Linklater.
Yeah, I told you.
And are you sure you left at the end of your conversation, Mrs. Linklater? I'm sure you didn't like the fact that little uncivilized child had your husband's affections, surely.
Trust me, honey. I'm used to it. And I ain't gonna waste my time bumping off someone that ain't even interested in Jack, am I? She told me her affections lay elsewhere, and that Jack's money was going to help her out of a situation with this guy.
Pregnant?
Makes it all that much sadder. Very well. We will come back to Mr. Linklater's indiscretions presently. Sam.
Yes, madam.
You said you saw Charlotte at 11 o'clock.
Yes, madam.
And when you were quarrelling, did you notice anything on the back seat of the car?
Yes, I did.
How many parcels?
4, and something from the bakery.
You sure?
Yes, because I said, why do you need to go to the village? There can't be many more parcels to collect. I knew it was just an excuse to see Kurt.
OK. So we now know that Charlotte collected 4 parcels in the morning, none of which were delivered to Vita.
Parcels? Who gives a hoot about parcels?
4 parcels were collected, but only 3 were found, which means 1 parcel has disappeared. So where is that missing parcel?
And where is my stolen?
Mr. Linklater, I noticed that you keep your scarf on indoors. Wouldn't you like to remove it now you're near the warmth of the fire?
No, I'm fine. I think I'll...
Here, Jack, let me help you.
Aha, as I thought, scratch marks on your neck. Care to tell us how you came by them?
I don't know who you think you're speaking to, young lady, but I can tell you right here now.
Jack, Ginger asked you a question, and in the absence of the police, I am the authority here. Now please answer her question.
I refuse to answer this question.
He tried to kiss her. I saw him do it. She scratched him and he slapped her. I saw it all from my bedroom door, madame. They were in the corridor.
Indeed, the blood under the fingernails. Thank you, Claudette. And this would be when?
But that was just after 11 o'clock. Actually, it was 10 past by my watch. Yeah, I saw you, you schmuck.
All right, you got me. But I can assure you she was alive and kicking when I left her.
But with a sore face, I fancy.
Was Charlotte carrying anything?
Carrying anything? What is this, some kind of memory test? She said she was going to collect her gloves, if you must know, and she was carrying a parcel, a ripped parcel. So I guess that's where your missing parcel went.
So now we have our 4th parcel. The parcel which we found in Charlotte's wardrobe, which was put there by you, George, I fancy.
Parcel? I don't know about a parcel. My daughter was a good girl. She's never involved in drugs.
George, nobody said anything about drugs.
Yes, she did. I heard you both in Charlotte's room.
Listening at keyholes, George, will certainly get you into trouble.
No.
I'd imagine you walked in on Charlotte in her room when she went to retrieve her gloves, and you spotted her swift attempt to hide the parcel in her bureau.
I knew something was going on, so I waited for her to leave again, and then I went into her room to find the parcel. When I realized what was inside it, I hid it up the chimney so she couldn't find it again. I did not know she would be killed for it. Later, after she was murdered, I went to retrieve it, but it was gone.
Coal dust! That's what I could smell, mixed with the petrol and oil on your hands. So what happened next? She drove down to the village again?
Claudette, what time did you see Charlotte leave for the village?
11:30?
11:30. And you saw her leave in the car?
Oui, madame.
I see. And was it snowing?
I think so.
Heavily?
I can't be sure.
Did you use the shovel to help get the car out? Or did you just use the shovel to break Charlotte's neck?
What?
You usually went to the village to get the post, didn't you? You and Kurt had a good thing going. He'd get the drugs in, then... Did you hide it for him? I imagine Kurt is in charge of distribution with his telegram deliveries, but it all went wrong when Kurt took a fancy to Charlotte. Did they meet by accident when he was delivering a telegram?
Shut up! Shut up! Shut up! You have no idea what you're talking about. Kurt is mine. I have risked everything for him, and that stupid bitch Charlotte wanted to ruin it all. I had to get the drugs back. If they were missing, Kurt would have been killed.
At 11:30, Charlotte returned to the car so she could get back to the village to ask Kurt about the package. But the snowfall was heavy, so she would need the shovel. And you were there, waiting for her.
Yes, it was. I had looked through the other packages, but the one I wanted was missing. I asked her about it, and she told me that I would have to face up to what I was doing. She said that the package was hidden, and she refused to tell me where. So when she turned to get back into the car, something snapped, and I hit her with a shovel.
You knew the car was only visible from Vita's chalet, and that she'd left much earlier in the day. So you dragged the body down to outside the house and started to build your macabre snowman.
With my gloves and hat!
And don't forget your 9-iron. Poetic justice for all the years I've been a slave to you, Miss Taylor.
You found the drugs in Charlotte's room, but I fancy you soon realised that it was a smoking gun, so you redistributed the package in a place easier for us to find, so we would believe Charlotte was the dealer.
Claudette, how could you do this?
Oh, please, George. She was an annoying, spoiled brat, and I was sick of bowing and scraping and cleaning and... Yes, madame. No, madame. Kurt was the most exciting star in the sky, and we were brilliant together until Charlotte ruined everything. It's over, and now I bid you all good night. Bonsoir. Au revoir.
No. Claudette, no.
Finally, Ginger, I get to ski with you.
Yes, I just need to stay upright now. I feel like I've spent more time on my behind than actually skiing. Oh, I feel very guilty about Claudette. It was ghastly, wasn't it?
No more ghastly than what she did to poor Charlotte.
Yes, you're right.
How did you know it was her? We kept it all very quiet.
I realised that Charlotte hadn't been out the second time because there were no more parcels. And there were the American cigarette butts underneath the car from earlier in the day, not covered in snow. So I knew the car hadn't left a second time. As soon as Claudette lied about that, I realised that she'd lied about all that followed.
And you know about the drugs because of the white powder on the back seat?
No, I didn't know about the drugs until we found them in the wardrobe. It was icing sugar in the car, I'm afraid. She did steal your stollen.
Ruthless. Oh, careful, you're slipping again and you're going to fall.
Whoa.
Oh, I've got you.
Thank you for catching me.
You're so cold, Ginger.
I feel like I haven't been warm for weeks.
Come on, let me warm you up. Have a little rub and a little schnapps.
In Death Slopes by Libby Taylor, Ginger was played by Libby Taylor and Vita by Sarah Ashworth. Claudette and Mrs. Linklater by Leslie Kaufman. George, Piers Gibbon, Sam by Edward de Lag, and Mr. Linklater by Robbie Stevens. All other parts were played by members of the cast.